Shalom IT lovers of my classes, welcome to the A with RStudio. Today let's create another type of file. After the CSV, the HTML and the SQL files analysis on RStudio, let's see what a Markdown is. Let's create a simple one with plot. And then we're going to close the RStudio classes with the running of some basics and good to know commands. All right, now this is where I'm at on the basic good to know. Here we still have our cells, that's CSV, the best wine analysis.r, and our flowers.sql here. Well, I already have, of course, performed, the Markdown before, so about 5 times. And I have it right here, but we are going to start, right from the beginning. Let's start just a new one. Okay, the first thing you got to do is to go by tab file. You go by tab file and you want to create a new file, and actually you should take the R script, but because it's a Markdown, we are going to take the R Markdown. This is what we want. So once you're here, you have to give the title to your doc. I'm going to read what the definition of a Markdown after, because it's going to be standing on our final result. Let's put here we're going to call it tuto Markdown, and we're going to do a Fibonacci with plot. Let's put it like this. Okay, this is this is where you insert your title, and then you put your first name, the author, and here you have a date, and here you can select if you want the date to be always current. This is what I want, so I'm gonna keep that, but it's the default. Usually people want that, and then here you can choose the default output format. I want to see it in HTML, but you can want it. You can print it in a PDF or in Word. That's very interesting, but I'm gonna keep it as HTML right now. And then here you choose what you want. You want a document, you want a presentation. Okay, so me, I want a document, and you can just hit here okay after you have made your choice. So on RStudio, it's really easy to create a Markdown. Okay, then once you have your Markdown, as you can see here on this tab right here, it's untitled. You gotta give it a title. So we go here, we go and save it as, and I'm gonna call it tuto Markdown like this, and you have to make sure you put RMD. This is the extension for Markdown. If you don't remember, it's also standing here. So we're gonna save it. I hope I didn't call it. It's good. The title is good. Tuto Markdown.rmd. So once you have that here, this is your new doc. Looks good. So you have your title here. I hope you see what I'm doing here. You have your titles. When you have put, you have the name of your author, and you have the date. And right after here, when you see the output HTML document and the 3 dashes here, once you have that, you want to insert your work. So me, it's going to be a Fibonacci. The Fibonacci which I have here. Let me go back to this is a document I want to run at the end of our session, the good to knows and the basics. And I have here the Fibonacci sequence, which is good to know, in all programming languages, Python or JavaScript and R. That's good to know it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to take and stick right here, so that we have something on our documents. I hope you understand so far. So I get it right here. So I have all my data. Okay, introduction, this document will calculate the Fibonacci sequence and plot the first 10 numbers. This is what we want to do. So we have our Fibonacci here, and we have our create a plot of the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, so I'm going to read it to you afterward. Let's first knit. This is what you have to do. We don't run, you see, like in other documents, but we knit when it comes to the markdown. So all we have to do is to knit here, and you see the process is starting, and then you have your report. So let me read you report. Let me read you the definition exact of the markdown. Is better because it's really clear here. This is an R Markdown document. Markdown is a simple formatting syntax for authoring HTML, PDF, and MS Word documents. You see, that's very interesting. You can create a document, you can create a report, you can do whatever you want, and it's going to be looking very professional. You see, you have your title here, you have the name of the author, you have the date, which is always going to be current, and then you can get an introduction as we have done here, and you can create a plot, you see, and it's also written on the document the first time you do it. And of course you can remove whatever you don't need, like we don't need that, but I wanted to keep it so I can read to you and show you what you can do, what type of markdown you can create here on RStudio. It's really awesome, you see. You know, send it as a HTML to somebody. You can also even open it in the browser. You don't have to do it internally, and you can publish it here. All right, so me, I'm good with that, so I'm gonna just get it down here. And this is a markdown we have created, and here I wanted to show you that on the document, of course, you will have also some how do they call that? They call that chunk. You can also run the current chunk of your document. Like here, for instance, we have we can plot here. Let's plot what we have here. Let's plot the pressure. We can run also the summary cards. That was the example we had on our markdown. So you can run the chunk on your markdown. This is what I wanted to show you. It's just below your data. So when you scroll, you have some chunk you can run there. So I just wanted to show you what you all have on the markdown. Okay, this is how you create a markdown, and that's it. Then you make sure you save it, and then you're good. So we have saved it before, so I just refresh, I replace, and I'm good. Okay, so now I wanted to come to the second topic, which is because after that I want to do something else. When you start with RStudio and you know already how to, type the commands and run your R script documents, you're good. But for you to know that you can also, of course, run simple additions and things like that, the multiplications, let me see that, the division, and when you forget to run a line, of course it's not going to work. Like here, first I have to run the quotient and then print, then it's going to work, or else it's going to be red, you see. So it's really one line at a time. And what can we run, because it's a huge one. We have basic statistical operations here we can run, just for you to see what type of operations and things you can run on RStudio. Here we are calculating the mean, the median, and the standard deviation. We've seen some things also before. The basic matrix operations, we have really so many commands here. We can simulate, we can create data frame. Look, we create a data frame with category A, B, C. This one is really good to know too. And you want to print, and you can see what you're doing. You can create a variable. We have done that before. what can we see here? The comparison operators, you know, the x equal to, first you have to run the x and y, and then you can work on some comparison. Let me just run some. This is for those who really are starting with RStudio. So these are the comparison here. The not equal to is also good to know. The greater than, you can do all these things also on RStudio, just like, you know, on Python and JavaScript and all this stuff. You can do all these things too on RStudio. And here we can do the basic linear regression. We have, look at that, huh? We have this plot the data and the regression line. So you can see our regression line. Looks cool, huh? Yes, I wanted to show you this Fibosec we have taken to put on our Markdown. This is the same one. We can run it. This is how it looks like on RStudio. Our Fibonacci, like that's a must know. And we can run it. So you can see all the outputs. Fibo using a loop. Here we can do that. I have to do I have to run first this one and then print here. Okay, you see okay, then I have this one, the last one I want to show you. That's an interesting one. The Bible code function, you know, to find a message in a text using equidistant letter sequences. That's an interesting one. Okay, let's run this one and see if it's working. Okay, looks good. And then here we have how to apply the function, you know, to a simple text. This is what the, you know, this is how they do the Bible code. And take the book of Genesis, okay, and then find code. Step 3. Did I do the step 3? Yes, you have to run also the step 3. And now find code. Let's see the code tag. And the code is, this is the code, apparently. TBKJES. This is how they work with the Bible code. I have another example here. Let me see if it's going to work. Let's run. And I have to run this part too. And then we have to find, yes, we run the step. And then we find the code. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, this is how it works. All right, this is what I wanted to show you, you know, all the good to knows, the Fibonacci and all these things, you know, the simple calculations, you know, on RStudio 2. Okay, this is the end of our classes today. We have performed that together. Let me go back to our tuto Markdown.rmd doc. That was very interesting. We can reknit just for the last time, and just to show you that it's still working. Okay, you can always go back and reknit. All right, so let me close it. And yes, that's all. Thank you for watching. The rest is coming next if God's willing. Until then, may He bless you. Bye-bye.